One of the most important tasks in the innovation and design process is knowing and defining your problem. It is also the one thing that is often underdeveloped and creates the greatest problems in the design process. People do not invest enough time truly understanding what and why a problem is occurring. So as a consequence, they often end up solving or addressing a symptom rather than addressing the cause of a problem. This simple mistake means that the solution not only has little impact on the underlying problem, but often also causes new related problems. Identifying a problem is not difficult. These things happen every day. It's a door that doesn't work or an app that doesn't perform the way it was expected. It might also be a process that makes no sense. So, is innovation just problem solving? No, we can all solve simple, tactical problems, such as fixing the door that doesn't work. However, innovation often requires thinking and ideas to try new ways of solving a problem. Innovation requires creativity, coming up with new solutions. Innovation is also not just coming up with a good idea. Well, we all have good ideas. Isn't that innovation? Well, design teaches us to step away from the solution and to investigate the problem, define the problem, and understand the people impacted. In reality, we constantly have ideas. All humans are problem solvers. So I'm not saying suppress your ideas. I often have ideas all the way through the innovation process. All I'm saying is that the idea you have come up with may not be the best one, or even it may not even be a particularly good one, even if you think it is. And that applying an innovation process may result in better framing, better definition, and ultimately better ideas. Actually, one of the problems with innovation is that people fall in love with their idea or solution without fully understanding the problem. They may experience the problem and know that the solution that they've developed will fix it for them. But this is only one viewpoint, and it's a dangerous viewpoint. The way a solution may work for you may actually make the problem worse for someone else. Part of this is that we generally love solutions more than we love problems. Problems are hard, difficult, and frustrating. Ideas appear to be fun and attractive. It is important then to really understand the context of use, the people who are impacted and the problem as it's occurring before becoming too wedded to any one solution. I like to think of that as falling in love with the problem rather than the solution. The traditional way that people solve problems is that someone may have a bright idea or even come up with a solution that is logical. And this is, as I said, based on their experiences and will appear obvious. However, they've done nothing to really understand the problem. What is causing it and all of the symptoms? So after it has been implemented, you often find that it isn't the solution that you thought it was. Or if research has been done, it has been done with the solution in mind. We can be blind to contradictory evidence or dismiss what doesn't seem to be relevant to our solution. There are many cognitive biases that come into play. Fluency, halo effect, framing effect, attentional bias, sunk costs, and so on. All of these things influence us to continue down the same path. We are used to solving problems for ourselves, and we use our own experiences to help us. And we may actually be able to solve problems adequately for our own situation. But when we apply that knowledge to a larger problem that impacts others, we can't rely purely on our own experiences. So there are a lot of reasons. And so the process is repeated again. Someone has another way to solve the problem, and so the process is repeated again. This will happen over and over until the right solution is found. This is often a long and costly journey to the right solution. I have seen this many times in many organisations, and I call it the rush to get to the wrong solution. Design thinking makes us start at the problem and to not leap to an obvious solution. Instead, we need to consider the options and take some important steps that not only help us understand the real problem, but also ensure that we don't create new problems with our solution. The process forces us to examine our own biases. These steps are low cost, often rich in information, and almost always tell us something critical about the solution that we could not have known from our original standpoint or knowledge. So going through the process will save time and money. It may look on the surface as more expensive and time-consuming than just implementing the original solution. After all, we think the solution is going to succeed. The reality is, and we usually don't have the foresight to see this, is that it is an illusion, and usually it's a very high-risk option. Design thinking forces us to challenge our thinking, overcome our inherent biases, and examine a range of information to come up with ideas and test our thinking. Anyone who has read Kahneman's book on fast and slow thinking will know that we are forcing ourselves to use system 2 when we're doing design. We are short-circuiting our fast thinking and engaging our rational brain. So, some simple steps to become better at solving problems. Number 1, know your problem. Rather than just looking at what is on the surface and treating the symptoms that are obvious, you need to go behind and below these issues. Ask why something is happening. Find out what is driving the problem. Number 2, understand who is impacted. There will be many ways to observe the problem. Understand the different perspectives of the people who are involved. This will give you insights that will not be apparent from your own perspective. 3, learn to look at the problem differently. The way you view the world and the problem will impact how you find solutions. You must learn to remove the natural blockers and biases that you have. See problems as possibilities rather than obstacles, and recognize that what might be a problem for you may be an opportunity for someone else. 4, use your constraints. Constraints are useful tools to focus and clarify your problem, and these will give you direction for how to solve the problem. Do not be afraid of your constraints. Learn to use them. The hardest thing you will do, and the thing that you spend the most time doing, is defining and understanding your problem. Make sure that you check these things when you are defining your problem. Ensure that you haven't also accidentally described your problem as the solution. We will talk more about this in the workshops.